are going to discuss about the 5 pillars of criminal justice system.
What is law enforcement? Law enforcement is the activity of some members of the government who act in an organized manner to enforce the law by discovering, investigating, deterring, rehabilitating, or punishing people who violate the rules and norms governing the society. The term encompasses police, courts, and corrections. And what will happen if law enforcement does not exist? Without law enforcement in our criminal justice system, there is a possibility of rampant havoc, violence, theft, and danger everywhere we turn. Law enforcement professionals can take pride and satisfaction in their work to keep society safe and those responsible for crimes accountable for their action.
The prosecution plays a critical role in the criminal justice system, representing the state in bringing charges against individuals accused of crimes. Prosecutions have the authority to decide which cases to pursue, what charges to file, and whether to offer a plea deals, which gives them significant influence over the outcome of cases. They work closely with law enforcement to review evidence, assess witnesses, and ensure that legal standards are upheld. In court, the prosecution presents the cases aiming to prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt while countering the defense's arguments. However, their responsibilities extend beyond securing convictions. They must also ensure fairness, disclosing any evidence that may exonerate the defendant and respecting the accused's rights. Additionally, through their decisions, prosecutors shape public policy and impact broader issues such as sentencing, criminal justice reform, and incarceration rate. Overall, the prosecution's role is to balance the pursuit of justice with the ethical duty to uphold fairness and truth in every cases.
Court, known as the center of the core of the CJS or criminal justice system in the Philippines. What makes the court at the center then? Because if you look at the pillars, it was evident that there was likely a cause if the accused person had already been arrested at the prosecution stage, which is why the accused person was filed in court. The court has the final say regarding whether the accused person is guilty or innocent. In other words, if the accuser's guilt is not established beyond a reasonable doubt, they will be undoubtedly appeared innocent and be free to live our community as an innocent person. If, on the other hand, their guilt is established beyond reasonable doubt, of course, be sentenced in accordance with the crime they committed and move on to the next pillar, which is correction. If their guilt is shown beyond a reasonable doubt, it is it is also the arbiter of the justice, conducts hearing and render authoritative judgment. Thus, the court will determine guilt or innocent. Therefore, if it is found to be guilty, it will move on to the next pillar, which is the correction.
I am Miguel Jasamuran, BS-CRIMINOLOGY student from Southern Philippines Agribusiness and Marine and Aquatic School of Technology. So, the topic about the corrections and the criminal justice system. In this topic, this discussion will be able to understand the relationship between correction and the criminal justice system. So, what is the function of correction, or what is the role of corrections in the criminal justice system? Okay, so to begin with, let us understand the criminal justice system. Criminal justice system is a machinery of any government, the control and prevention of crime and the criminality. This is a process to help the government, so we have a control of crime and preventions or prevent crimes. So what is the difference of control of crimes and prevention of crimes? Control of crime is like someone commit a crime, then you put him into a prison. That is what we call control. So the prevention of crime, when we say prevention of crime, for example, punishment, we give sanction to those violate the law. We imprison them. So let's move on to the corrections as the one of the pillars of criminal justice system in the Philippines. So, the Philippine books or criminology books says that the corrections is the weakest pillar among the five pillars of the criminal justice system. Why? Because they said or they argue that correction failed the rehabilitate failed to form to criminal into non-criminal behaviors. So from a failure of reformation of prisoners of criminal, then the labeled correction as the weakest pillar among the five pillars of criminal justice system. But it's arguable, but it depends on you that the correction pillars is not the weakest. But they saying, or the chronology book says that the weakest pillar is corrections. Okay, so correction is the fourth pillars of the criminal justice systems. I hope that you understand the relation between corrections and criminal justice system.
Now, let's proceed to the last pillars in our criminal justice system, which is the community. Community, the informal pillar of the CGS of the Philippines, it also known as the widest pillar. It also the place where the criminal comes and where he will return. Involvement of the community. It involves all the stakeholder and support system such as the victim, support groups, and rehabilitation agency to reduce new crimes, support victims, and help reintegrate offenders.